back there. I'd like to open our Board of Selectmen meeting for May 22nd with a roll call.
Newman present.
Smith present.
Cranston present. And Corbin, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thanks, Corbin. Okay, so we're going to move a few things around this evening for anybody that's looking at the agenda. And the first one we're going to look at is Corbin. Corbin is our Eagle Scout. Up to the podium. Corbin, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're going, and how you got there.
Hello, I'm Corbin Bennett. I'm an Eagle Scout for Troop 1 Sterling, and I joined Scouts when I was young, followed in my dad's footsteps, made it all the way to Eagle, just by doing all the requirements I needed to do and enjoying my time while I did it.
What did you do for your project, Corbin?
For my project, I restored the Sterling Town Pound, which consisted of me removing shrubbery, rebuilding rock walls, remaking and repainting the wooden animals in the town pound, and laying down bark mulch to prevent shrubbery from regrowing.
Want to tell everybody where the dog pound is?
It's right up Meeting House Hill Road, 200 feet that way.
A lot of people don't even know it's up there, so
Look by when you pass it.
yeah, definitely. You can go up the steps and visit it too.
Yeah.
Any questions for Corbin?
Nope.
I had a question, when was the original pound built?
I don't even know.
Oh, you remember?
You're me. I'm surprised you're not in it. Anything else, Corbin?
No.
Okay, then the town of Sterling would like to present you with a certificate of recognition. On behalf of the citizens of the town of Sterling, we wish to recognize Corbin James Bennett in recognition of your outstanding community service to the town of Sterling and for your dedication, loyalty, and contributions to the Boy Scouts of America. We extend to you our deepest congratulations and best wishes, given this 22nd day of May 2024 by your Select Board, David Smith, Kirsten Newman, Maureen Cranston.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm sure you're really excited about being here at a town select board meeting. But you can be just like everybody else, and as soon as you're done with you, get up and go. Or stay.
Or if you're crawling, you're crawling.
Okay. And now we're gonna address Don Hill. Don, you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you're all about?
My name is Don Hill. I grew up in Sterling. For 22 years I've lived in Sterling. I left for about another 20 or 30 so. Came back and I currently live on Lake Washacum. And I plan on selling hot dogs at the market on Saturdays if I
Okay. And you have your Board of Health certificate?
can. I have the certificate, the allergen,
Okay.
licensing, all that.
All right. Any questions, Kristen?
Will you have a truck or will you be on the common under a tent? Or?
On the common, it's a tabletop hot dog steamer is what I have, so, yeah.
David?
Great idea.
I also think you should think about going to the lake at some point.
It's possibly in the future, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
You have all
so,
needed insurance,
Huh?
everything.
yep. Yep, got it all.
Okay.
So I would entertain a motion to grant the common Vic's license to Don's Dogs, AKA Don Hill.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Newman, aye?
Smith, aye.
Cranston, aye. Okay, thanks, Don.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck.
Okay, thank you.
We have a couple of approvals for, I'll get to you, Carl. Still not there.
Drop down lower and lower.
But, Michael?
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to get up to the podium and, Michael is applying for,
You could have put Carl before me.
huh?
I don't want to make him mad. You could have put Carl before me.
No, no, no. No, see, we're the boss here.
All right. So, Michael Anderson, I live at 77 Redstone Hill Road. Basically, about last month, we filed for removal of a section of the historical stone wall, which we were going to rebuild, which that got approved. Just basically trying to make a second entrance to the property, a second driveway for a detached barn. In the future, near future, as of now, it would be used for a construction entrance, so we're not driving over the septic system, doing an addition to the house. So that is what that's for. The stone wall removal obviously has already been approved, so it's basically just looking for the entrance to public ways approval to tie in a second driveway.
And you do have all your permits according to this from Fire, Public Works, Building.
Yes.
Conservation.
Yep.
Any questions, Kristen?
Nope.
David? Then I would entertain a motion to grant Mr. Anderson a permit for the entrance to public ways on 77 Redstone Hill.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Newman, aye.
Smith, aye.
Grants and I. You're all set, Michael.
Thank you very much.
Almost painless, right?
Right,
Not
almost.
like going to the planning board.
That one was a lot tougher. But they got me out right the first thing instead of the third, so I don't know.
Well, you should have beat Corbin and Don here. Okay, and
Thank
do
you very much.
Thank you. Good luck. Is anybody coming for?
They've been invited.
All right, so this is another permit for entrance to public ways, and it's for 54 South Nelson Road. And again, they've already been through the process of permitting with fire, DPW, building, and planning. And they have their permits. They still need some work to do, but from us, they're looking just for the permit for the entrance.
I would make a motion to approve the entrance to public ways for 54 South Nelson.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Newman, aye.
Smith, aye.
Krantz and I. All right. Oh my, look who's next. Sherry, no. Carl, tell us what you need, want, and otherwise desire.
I don't stand at your podium, but I'm injured. I have a bum knee, so I'm just gonna sit right here if you don't mind. I'm sure you don't. Stare at me. So, about a year ago, a little better than a year ago, I came in with a pretty detailed package on how to deal with that red brick building behind the 1835. No action was taken on it that night. There was no vote. So I figured I'd come back in and revisit with you on this. And I asked Kama to reissue the package. She did. Thank you. So I could go over any of that if you wanted me to. When we talked about it last year, it was part of a paving and septic plan that was going to go on behind the 1835, and that still hasn't happened. It's in the future, but it's not going to be for a while. There's too many technicalities that we're trying to work through. So I would like to see if we can reach a decision tonight to do something so we can move forward with it all. And I think it's important to understand that if we do remove this building now, without having to wait till then, it translates to 9 new parking spaces now. Won't be paved, but there'll be 9 new spots. And we need parking. We've lost some parking out on Main Street, and we have a lot of people parking at the 1835 from Emma's now, and there's hardly any parking over there. It would be quite an improvement to do something with that building now and get some parking spaces. I can go over all the things on this list for the benefit of Kirsten. She wasn't here last year when I brought all this in, so I can
I
go
think
over.
I was at the meeting in the audience, because I do remember it.
You do remember it?
I do, yeah.
So I mean, I can go over each one again if you would like, and then we can talk about whatever you want to talk about with the building, not that you don't know about it by now. But we'd like to do something with it.
About the first thing you talk about, because this is really what pushes a lot of it, is the cost. The cost of moving it and redoing it, or just taking it down.
Right, so what we did was we went out and we sought out some estimates. We did end up getting one written estimate to move the building of $41,200. We had two verbal estimates. One was $65,000, one was $50,000, and then there was an additional $35,000 to prepare its landing spot, so to speak. We based it on moving it behind this building here or an equivalent distance. We had to have some kind of baseline on how where to start. Not too appealing. So I had a bunch of conversations with Ryan from the DPW, and he was willing to take the building down, and so I actually put some costs together for that. So he would have to rent a hammer for his backhoe. That was like $750. The estimates for disposing of the building, this might change a little bit because it was a year ago, but we need 3 dumpsters. 1 for wood, 2 for brick. The 2 brick dumpsters, we estimated $1,500, and the dumpster for the wood at $500. So the bottom line at the end of the day, to try and relocate the building, came to $77,200. Not quite sure people are going to line up to vote for that. And the estimate to demo the building with the DPW's assistance was $37.50, and that's mostly disposal. And I think I had $1,000 in there as an estimate for any kind of testing that somebody might want to do to the building before it comes down. So that's what we came up with for costs on both those options, moving it or getting rid of it.
If I'm remembering correctly, the moving it also was not guaranteed, correct? The building would still be in its current condition?
It would be in, by the time it landed, wherever it landed, it would be in worse shape than it's in right now, because the building is only bricks. It's not like it's cement block and veneered in brick.
Right, so
Totally
it was
bricks.
70,000 with no guarantee. is what I'm
Correct.
saying.
Yep, absolutely right.
Any other questions, Kristen?
No questions as
I did-
far as the moving.
There was questions back when we were discussing it as its historic significance to the town center. So we went right to the Mass Historical Society, and I'll just read you this one paragraph of their response. I received the inquiry regarding the Town of Sterling Archives, STE 580. This building is a non-contributing building to the Sterling Center Historic District, listed in the National Register of Historic Places in 1980. We do not remove properties from the National Register. So it has no significance to the Town Center Historical District. It's a switching station years ago from Marbell. That's about it. So I don't know if you saw it, Kirsten, but we did a scaled plan, because there seemed to be some confusion on how many spots was it going to be. It was going to be 1, it was going to be 2, oh, it's only going to be 2. So we went there and we measured it, and we did a scaled plan to prove that there was 9 spots that will appear once that building's gone. And that building that's directly behind it, it's a house or an apartment or whatever it is.
The green building?
Yes, the green.
That's a house.
The green, not your house.
No, the green is it's a 2-family house.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, you'd have to have it surveyed to know for sure, but when I looked it up on the GIS, I looked it up on the properties map and all that, it appears it's about 5 to 10 feet from the town's property line. I measured out 15 feet and then started the parking spots that I have at that end. They're regulation size parking spots, and 9 by 18. So it's real parking. So I think, you know, the longer it goes with doing nothing, the less chance that anything's going to happen. My days are numbered on the committee, and it's few things that I'd like to get done before I'm done, and this being one of them.
Would your parking spaces impact the entry to their house?
No, she moved her driveway, so,
I did.
yeah, her driveway was originally on the left of her house. If that was the case, maybe so. But when they redid it and they moved it over to the right side of the house, it's actually going to benefit them. Because this actually, once that building's gone and the parking spots are on each side, it even leaves a width of 20 feet between the parking spaces, which is the size of a road in Sterling. So now you'll be able to get cars coming and going in both directions once that building's gone. So plus park the cars.
Now, the property line for the greenhouse is actually right on the edge of their foundation, not 10 feet out. And their parking area is supposed to be their backyard, not where he currently parks.
Right.
So I'm not sure if you've taken that into account, that they're
I didn't
supposed to
take
be
it,
able to drive
yeah, I
into
didn't
there.
take into consideration exactly where their parking is because I didn't have any deed references to look at to see what they might be entitled to or might not be entitled to.
Right.
I only know where they always park. So if you look at the plan that we created, we left a spot in between for them to park, and we put tenant parking so they can continue to park there. You could be right, it could only be 5 feet away. I estimated it 5 to 10 feet away.
I'm just going by what I have, but also that what I see, they do drive into their backyard, which is the gap in their fence next to my old driveway.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that alters it.
It doesn't change anything because once those parking spaces appear, they're going to be on town property. And like I said, we left a spot in between those parking spaces for them to park there. So they don't have to go park up on the grass or anything else. They'll still be able to park there. Parking on town property, but they'll still, we didn't account for that in the 9. We left it open.
Currently, the people who live in the greenhouse do park on town, what is town property.
That's right.
Yes.
Kristen?
I'm just wondering now about your timeline with the tying into the septic and the repaving back there. How does making the decision on this affect that timeline for you?
As far as, does it hurt it at all or change it? No.
But you're not holding off anything to wait to see what happens, but.
No, that's something that's going to happen eventually. And when it does happen, the building shouldn't be there when it does because it's only going to be in our way. You know, so to get rid of it now would be only a benefit. And it would be that much further ahead of the game when it comes time to do something back there with the septic. When it comes about.
David?
Am I correct in saying the town is storing documents in that building?
Say that again?
Are the documents being stored in that building?
There are a few, yep. There was some documents, there was some toys, there was some, I don't know, miscellaneous stuff here and there. A lot of it's been cleared out. So I think there are some old documents in there, and I'm not quite sure anybody knows what they are.
I know Recreation pulled all their stuff out of there in September of '21.
Right. We've been waiting for the clerk's office to decide what they are and where they should go.
Bill?
Yes.
Any input?
I have none.
We did talk about moving whatever documents are there and putting in storage, you know, so that's also an option.
It's not like there's a ton. It's not like
No,
there's a ton.
no, because Rec had a lot of stuff, they cleared it out. Town clerk did clear some out, but not all. I mean, her fear is, you know, taking those documents and putting them in the safe, and they're potentially moldy and can contaminate what she already has in the safe. So something that you'll have to decide. We'll just have to push it. So what are you thinking?
Well, probably an unpopular opinion for some, but I did go and look at the building again today just to remind myself what it looks like. And I love, you know, a historic building, but it didn't look like anything that was too exciting to me, and I don't feel that people are getting value out of it. And I think that overall, for the people of Sterling, the parking spaces would be more valuable, but that's just my opinion.
It's all
I
right.
think it's a wise assessment.
David?
I think we should take up Ryan's offer on demoing the building and have it removed.
Okay. Sherry?
Recreation would love that for storage, but we haven't been using it for almost 3 years now, so we have found homes for our other stuff.
Your garage?
My garage, Bill's garage.
That's what happens. Carol?
No, I'm voting yes to get rid of it, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments on it?
Is there anything of historical significance?
No, that's what he just said.
Okay,
That
so-
we did look into the historical, and some will say yes, but it's not part of the downtown historical.
It is not.
No.
But nothing like anything inside, is what I'm saying.
Oh, that, whatever's inside will come out.
As the person who lives there, and this would probably impact the most, my view would definitely improve, not looking at that thing on my front windows every day. I obviously have concerns over what a parking lot in my front yard will do, more defined spots, but that's, hopefully it will be configured well.
Did you see it at all?
I have not, I would love to.
Your house is over here.
Okay.
There's the building, that's the red brick building there. These are the spots that will be created, that's the spot that I left, the tenant parking, take that, you can have.
Oh, thank you. So this, number 9 would be in front of what is my old driveway?
Yes.
Okay. Because we just,
And still a significant distance from that, it's not like it's right up against it.
okay, so we'll still be able to like, because that's where like my mother-in-law parks on Thanksgiving and stuff.
So do you want us to block it or not?
When we laid that out.
Not answering, did you notice?
When we laid that out, we took into consideration your driveway where it was.
Okay.
Not where it is now. Where it is now is only a benefit. Where it was, there was still enough room.
I observe the foolishness of the parking every weekend, especially with people just running in quick to Emma's, and the brick, and I think this is a much better plan than some of the idiocracies. I'm not moving to block it at all.
Well, I'd entertain a motion to have Carl in the 1835 move forward and contact Ryan and move the brick building. Move it, flatten it.
Raise.
Actually, if you want to do a fundraiser, take the bricks. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Move the bricks, so you can sell the bricks. That's what they did with my old high school.
That was my suggestion.
Interested in some of the bricks, yeah.
Yeah, well, people want to take them, take them.
I'd love to paint my backyard with them.
There you go.
Very short distance.
Sneak over at night.
Yeah.
That's one less dumpster.
One less dumpster.
One less dumpster.
One less dumpster.
Patio.
One less dumpster is right.
So there is a motion on the
So
table.
moved.
Second,
All those in favor?
Newman, aye.
Smith, aye.
Grants and I. Thank you. And thank you, Carl, for all of that.
Thank you for the
Appreciate
decision.
it.
So we'll get the wheels going on that. And yes, I'm going to leave after I'm done.
Okay,
Don't threaten us.
See you. Thank you.
Go slow.
thank you.
Out of curiosity, for obvious
That's going to
reasons.
be up to Ryan, once I get him off to him, when he's available to go over there and start. So, I would imagine.
I work from home, so, you know, if I need to take a day off, get someone else looking at it.
Okay. We'll warn you ahead of time.
All right, thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Carol. All right. West Sterling Ball Field. You have some issues? Mr. Caldwell?
Yeah, basically the short version of it is a couple meetings ago, we had them come before us looking for permission to convert whatever it was to a T-ball field. That was fine. There was supposed to be some approvals by the DPW about those changes. A fence was installed without those permissions, so here we are.
All right.
Do we know when that fence was installed? I'm just looking at the emails between Ryan and the gentleman. I'm wondering if they were after the installation.
I didn't know what it was.
It was the week leading up to that weekend in April where we did opening day. So what was that, like the same day as the,
18th.
was it the 18th and 25th
In April?
in April?
Okay. Thank
I don't know
you.
what any day was, it was that week.
A lot of traffic. I don't know. All right, well, the bottom line on it is, we approve the changes once they go to the DPW and consult with them. And they didn't consult with them. So, and then there was some sort of confrontation about it and a lot of back and forth. And we did invite Mr. LeBrecq here to the meeting to talk to us about it. He was not available, and apparently will not be available. So I suggest that we send Mr. LeBrecq a letter and say he's got to go to the DPW board and discuss it with them, or and get the permissions from them. It's their field, they take care of it, it's town-owned, so.
So I'm seeing discussion here between Mr. LeBrecq and Ryan from March. And Ryan laid out his issues.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they were ignored or what, but.
Ignored.
Yeah.
I do recall that we told Mr. LeBrecq to reach out to Ryan and make sure that any modifications that is being done to the field meets Ryan's approval. So that's where we stand. I would say we defer this back to the DPW board and let them handle it.
I think too that we should send a letter as a board
I agree.
to Mr. LeBrecq and, you know, explain that.
Yeah, let's,
Make
that
a
was the
motion that
condition
we
of the
send a
approval.
letter.
I will second that motion.
All those in favor?
Newman, aye?
Smith, aye.
Benson, aye. You'll take care of it, right, Bill? And that's what we do. Alright, and then we have a Turtle Crossing sign request for Greenland Road through Harmony Fund, and she couldn't make it tonight, but I would really like to see her do this presentation in person as opposed to just approving it. Entirely up to you guys.
So we need to get in 2 weeks. Yeah?
What do you think?
That's what you would like to do? I'd be in
Oh,
favor.
well, what would you like to do? Do you want to talk about Turtle Crossing now?
No, I wouldn't mind her being here to present this and
I kind of think it's interesting.
explain what the Harmony Fund International is.
Well, yeah, one of the things that concern me is more signs and more signs on Greenland Road. That's kind of concerning. A lot of signs.
It would be nice to, I think maybe there is a picture, like, it'd be
Yeah.
nice to see where they plan on putting them. So
Yeah.
we can go and check it out.
Okay. All right, so we'll put that off until our next meeting? You all set with that? Okay. And then, this is Public Works Week. It's you, David?
It's all me?
No. It's a proclamation that we'd like to present to Public Week. And Kirsten's going to read it.
I'd first just like to say that it's very fitting that our last 3 items involve DPW in some way. So
Yeah.
it's very fitting then that May 19th to 25th, 2024 is National Public Works Week. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Sterling. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals, who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Sterling to gain knowledge of and maintain an outgoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2024 marks the 64th Annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association, Canadian Public Works Association. Be it now resolved, we, the Town of Sterling Select Board, do hereby designate the week, May 19th through 25th, 2024, as National Public Works Week. We urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing the quality of life for all.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And thank you to the DPW and all they do, and David, have anything to say about that, you DPW guy?
I do. So, Public Works is the silent arm of public safety, right? They're the unsung heroes. Every day, we use some capacity, something that they touch, whether it be trash removal, water, driving roads, tree removal, walkways. Ball fields, they just miraculously get mowed. Nobody thinks of the amount of work that these guys put into what aids us in our everyday life. So I just want to thank them for that. And I will be supplying the Sterling Public Works with lunch on Friday. And I also would like to recommend, if anybody wants to drop off some cookies, brownies, if you've never noticed, Public Works guys like to eat, they'd be more than happy to take those donations. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One other thing is, the amount of licenses that they increasingly have to get is pretty important between hoisting and CDLs and everything else. So it's not just out there,
Water licenses, and these all require continued education. It's not a one and done. It's a lot more than it used to be years ago.
A lot more than mowing a lawn,
Absolutely.
sweeping a street, and we thank them for that. What time's lunch?
When are you not available?
You didn't know you were making it, right?
No, I didn't see the order come through. Okay, well, I was really just curious, because maybe I would bake something, but forget
That
it.
would be new.
Forget it. Oh, okay, town administrators update?
Do we need to motion to sign off on the proclamation?
Sure.
All right, make a motion that we sign off on the National Public Works Week proclamation.
Second.
All those in favor?
Newman, aye.
Sit down.
Grants and I. Okay, and,
Did you do the minutes before? I just didn't mark it.
oh, we did skip the,
Yes, you did skip that.
we did skip the minutes, didn't we?
He was such
How
a-
come you didn't pipe up?
I wasn't first on the list.
Oh, but you're first in our hearts, if that means anything.
I have read the minutes, and I would make a motion to approve the minutes of May 8th.
Thank you, Don.
So I was not here for that meeting.
Nope, so I'll second them.
All right.
And all those in favor?
Newman, aye.
Krantz and I. And one abstain. All right, now, Bill, thank you for reminding us of that.
No problem. So several items. Obviously, one way or another, we are going to have a special town meeting. In the case that Princeton does pass the school budget as presented, we will have to go back and approve the remaining amount of funds that we will have to come up with to meet that. So it has to be somewhat of a contingent, since the 14-day posting requirement is going to kind of gum things up. I would perhaps propose to you folks to call it on Monday, June 24th, assuming that it's needed. If it is not needed, then we would have to cancel it. The school district would have to come back with a different budget, which all the towns would have to reapprove. But that would allow us to have the 14-day posting, and it would be the amount of money difference from what you folks had proposed versus what is presented currently by the school committee. If that works for everybody, I checked with the moderator and SLCT, and that date seems to be open. At that point, checked with the school. The week before is unavailable due to their step-up ceremony. So I think the 24th would work, but can check if we actually call that as our day before we formalize it. So,
Kristen, you got any issues with that?
Nope.
David?
I'm good with it.
it should be a one-article town meeting, so it should be fairly quick. I would also recommend, in the interest of saving a few dollars, going without the clickers. If you guys want it otherwise, feel free, but
It's up to the moderator, correct?
Rich is fine with it one way or the other, so that's up to you folks.
I'm okay with it.
All right. I'd entertain a motion to actually book that June 24th special town meeting.
So moved.
All right. Thanks, Bill.
I guess we would probably have to have a warrant opening date and closing date. I know we ran into that at the last special town meeting, so
Should we do that now, or?
no, I think if we
Take it
you
to
could
the-
probably look at your meeting. What is it, the 5th is our next meeting?
Yes.
Yeah. And that gives us enough time to,
19 days.
it's going to be basically a one-sheet deal. We can do it.
That is the hope. So it'd have to be a fairly short window of opening and closing, but just to have it formalized.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can get some dates for the next meeting and get things actually called and formalized once we have the approvals of the moderator, TV, school, and all that. June 19th and June 3rd, both are holidays or the day before a holiday. If we want to meet the 26th, we do have the bylaw that we shouldn't be meeting the day of a town meeting. So that Wednesday is the 26th. The next scheduled meeting wouldn't be until July 17th. Obviously, we'd have reappointments and a few other things before the end of the fiscal year, transfers, whatnot, so if that works for you folks, we could schedule that. Are you not around, you said? Or you are? It's the week after.
I think it's like a couple days after, so that's good.
So that would be at our June 26th meeting?
Yeah. Does that work?
It's fine with me.
We can put on whatever we need to for those meetings. Beach work is moving along. Sherry's not here anymore. In case she had anything that I'm going to miss. The erosion control is going along. So they've got the trench that's going to take care of most of the parking lot area. Parking lot's been taken care of. They're working on the rain garden now. Obviously, being close to the lake, you know, it's a higher water table, so they've got to, you know, work within that, and that way would filter out into the pond and you know, prevent any pollution. Tree work's been done both by DPW and the SMLD contractor, so those have been completed. We will be having obviously the annual cleanup, which fire and DPW assist on, along with the summer staff, getting the raft out, putting out the swimming area buoys, that kind of work coming up. The SMLD has provided the new fencing along Hall Ave, which has been completed.
Looks
Thanks to
really
them.
good.
Did come out nice. We have purchased new grills, those are in. delivered, not installed. And we'll have a little more erosion control, figure out what else we have with the grant funds that we do have available to us at that point, but definitely coming along. Obviously, it was mentioned recently about the signage down there. That's going to be another portion for the town signage. The Lake Association is going to donate a sign down at the boat ramp area. I believe we're getting close to matching up what they need and what we need so that we can accept that donation at our next meeting. That is the one part that we haven't got to yet. But that is generous of them to put the boating regulations and items that pertain to the lake by the boat ramp for us. So we certainly appreciate that, but it definitely already looks better down there and is certainly coming along. The stump grinding was done yesterday and today, so definitely the area's been cleaned up. So looks good, and that couples with the ADA grant that we got last year to do some upgrades to the bathroom area. Lazaro paving has started yesterday on the Maple Street sidewalk area. Not paving Maple Street until after the holiday, since the parade route goes through there, so they're kind of working on Bridge Street, Bird Street at this point. So that'll be coming along over the next couple weeks. Obviously, some things have to move around as you start digging a little bit, but that is another project that has to be done before the end of the fiscal year and billed out and reimbursed. So Ryan is definitely managing that one particularly well. Other road work which has been announced on Westland Farm, Roper Road, Hastings, and Ridgewood began today for the reclamation part of that. Steve and Ryan and I are also working on the application for the downtown one-stop grant application to see if we can get some funds to match with our ARPA funds and do over the downtown area. So those are the biggest things. Held a department meeting today. COA floor, we've discussed that. We've got the quotes that we needed to and have selected the vendor based on those to get that cleaned up and fixed. The RFP has been put out for the assessing services as their contract is up, so that'll be out near the end of the fiscal year for the assessors and me to review. And then the Welcome to Sterling sign, which is also grant funded, should be installed in the next week or so on the campground Route 12 area side. So a lot of things going on, and glad to have that happen. So
What happens in the spring? Everything starts popping.
yep.
So I would remind everybody that we have the parade on Monday, the 27th. Okay, and everybody's invited, all veterans and troops invited, and it starts at Hillside at 11 a.m. and comes up through town and over to Memorial Park for the actual program. We do have one more thing that we're going to do, but before we do it, I would like to, first of all, actually a couple of things. Thank you to the Lake Association for inviting us all to the dinner on Saturday night. Enjoyable. Then you have the elections. Thank you to everyone that voted for me this round. And just want to mention that we are now, next ballot, which is next May, we will have openings for a 5-member board. And just a tip, if you're interested. Corbin, how old are you? No.
17.
Well, if you're interested, I would suggest going to meetings, and not just the select board meeting, but all kinds of meetings, because that's really what you learn, where you learn how things work and where they're at. Then we have the EDC is looking for some more people. That's the Economic Development Committee. And Paul Cathcart, we thank him for his service, but he has retired from the committee. He's got some other things going on. So all of that being said, we did receive a couple of letters in the mail, myself and my counterparts here. No return address, no signature. Not very nice, but you know, you get used to it. I've been 9 years, I've had stones thrown at me. I'm fine with that. When they start going after 2 people who are bright, do their homework, and show up, that upsets me. So I apologize to the two of you that this even happened to you at this point, but get used to it, you know. But seriously, they said some things that, they obviously don't know these two, so maybe they know me, but I'm okay with it. I can deal. I've had people call me worse.
I appreciate your kind words, and I'm sorry that you received a similar letter as well. And I've never felt bullied by you, so.
Okay, that was one of the words. I wasn't going to mention that.
I thank you for having our backs. I appreciate that.
Well, so with that being said, and I want whoever sent the letter and is waiting for this to happen, your notes have nothing to do what we're going to do next, and that's a reorganization of the board. Yes, ordinarily, there's a chronological order to it. However, in the past 2 years, I've been asked to stay as chair because the person that was ready for it couldn't do it. You know, his life was busy and he wasn't interested in doing it. So with that being said, I would like to see us reorganize the board.
Nothing would make me happier.
I'm still sitting next to you. Just saying. Yeah, so I would nominate David if he's willing and able to do it.
So I appreciate that nomination. However, to be honest with you, I don't really have the time and dedication that is required to operate these meetings as they need to be run. So I'm going to respectfully decline taking the chair position.
Okay.
But I do appreciate it. It's just, I know how much to be honest with everybody, I don't have the time to be doing what I'm doing here now, but nobody else did it, so I'm doing it.
It's true.
Thank
So,
you.
any other?
That's all I have. Thank you. I have a lot of comments.
Well, that being said, I'll nominate Kirsten if she's ready, willing, and able to. And if not her, then anybody?
I will accept that nomination, given that Dave has decided that he would not take it, and I will accept that in the hopes that I will be met with kindness while I settle into that role. One can be hopeful.
I love your
Change
optimism.
the address on that letter.
No, okay, then I would entertain a motion to nominate Kirsten Newman as the chair of the select board.
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Smith, aye.
Newman, aye.
Grants and I. Okay, that's done. You want it now?
I'll adjourn the meeting, but
I don't think we're done. But that's okay. Anything, Carmen, that we should know about?
I'm going to decide who's going to be vice chair.
oh, correct.
David,
I don't mind staying in this position.
what position is it?
The vice chair.
Just checking. Okay. Nominate David as vice chair of the select board.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Newman, aye.
Smith, aye.
Grants and I. Okay, so that leaves one position. Clerk, you want us to vote on that too? There's only one person left.
That's fine. I'm sure that you decided that.
Can you handle the position?
You're going to be the clerk.
Huh?
Can you handle the position?
Yep, I know Karma.
Don't worry. Don't worry, we'll get bullied.
Oh, good Lord. Vicki, anything from you?
No.
Can I just back up to Karma again? Where are we on the scholarships?
I have emailed both Mark and Roy. We're working on when we can meet. So hopefully sometime early next week, because I would like us to try and get it on an agenda soon.
Yeah, the June 5th
So,
agenda would be really
right.
nice.
So it should be quick once we're able to nail down a date.
How many applications did you actually have?
5.
5? Okay. Back to you, Vicki. Anything from you?
Nothing, still nothing.
Mr. Mackey?
What a nothing.
Corbin? expect to see you up at this table in a few years. You can finish school first, but, Joe?
I had sent you a note earlier today. We had our meeting last night and we did our board reorganizations last night. Mr. Paul Austin is now chair of the Finance Committee and I am vice chair to the Finance Committee. And Liz Pape is now the chair of the Capital Budget Committee and Lynn is taking over the position of vice chair, Lynn Shepherd.
We're still looking for people too for the finance board, right? For
And
the
we are
next
full
round.
up right now because fortunately Mr. Handy, Mr. George Handy was convinced not to resign from our board. So he rejoined last night and what was to be a going away dinner for him last night came to be a welcome back dinner last night for George. So he has agreed to stay on, but not in a officer position. He just wants to be a member and he has resigned his subcommittee assignments as well. He was the Board of Health audit member on it, so he has resigned that piece. So he's a member and we have a full up
Remember when he gets reappointed,
when he gets reappointed, so.
be the end of June,
Yes.
June 27th,
26.
6th.
Okay, so
And I just wanted to remind people that although the Finance Committee has voted that he is not, you know, none of the people of all the reappointments, they need to go through this.
correct, yeah.
I'm just telling the people at home so that, you know, you're saying, well, we appointed them, they appoint them.
Right. The last part of that was we had requested a June 5th appointment for that, if that date works.
Well, his term's not up until the end of the fiscal year, so the 27th is soon enough.
Okay,
So
all right.
there's
So
that.
if you would prefer to do it on the 27th, we just wanted to get it docketed.
Yeah.
We have 4 members that are up for reappointment.
We'll do them all on the 26th.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have a question. I did read that now you're going to be on the Board of Health audit.
But
Okay, so I will send you some information, which is very limited. And then once the Board of Health reorganizes, probably get together with their chair and see if they come up with any other ideas. Because the only quote we got for that, I don't know if George told you,
yeah, George
$75,000.
mentioned all the details last
Yeah,
night,
okay.
so the entire finance committee is up to speed.
Yeah, okay. So, we'll see. I know that Rich had some ideas on it too, so
Yes.
we can move forward with that. All right, anything else? Then,
I would welcome a motion.
I move that we adjourn this lovely meeting.
All those in favor?
Smith, aye.
Krantz and I,
Newman, aye.
and don't forget, parade Monday.